Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is using the Scraptember prompt, something new. So what I brought into my craft room recently has been the new Shimelle collection, Reasons to Smile. I'm also going to add in some of the collection main character. The colors really match each other, and especially if you use certain colors, each collection definitely uses some of the same colors, but some of them use different colors. But I'm going to make it work together. So I pulled out ephemera pieces from both collections. I have both ephemera packs, so I did pull out some from each one. And the main title, I am the main character of, what does it say? Sorry. It actually says, yeah, I am the main character in this story. And then I'm going to use the thickers to spell out first day of kindergarten. Actually, bring in some white doodlebug letters to do day of and the year. Here I'm showing you the other thicker set, which is a title thicker set, but I'm not going to use any of the words off of this one. I'm just going to use the hearts and the stars off of this one. Here's the purple letters that I'm going to use for kindergarten and first. And then these papers here are from the 6x8 uh, pad for main character. And I'm going to use both sheets, even though they're the same, and do a little background decoration with them. The other two papers are going to be for photo matting. And then here I'm going to take the ruler off. I thought I was going to use the tags on the layout, but I end up forgetting about them, and I don't use anything else off of this sheet except for the back part. I'm going to use a piece of the stars. I love the purple and white stars. And then this teal paper here, I'm going to cut a small little section for a photo mat, and then I'll use a strip of it on the layout in my layers that I add for my background. This paper here, I fussy cut some of the books, and I also use the stars. That's what's the pattern on the background. It's a purple on purple tone. And then this wood grain paper is going to be my background paper. And I have two of those, so I'm going to use both of them. I'm not going to gut them just because the way that I layer the papers for the background, it would be really hard to gut it. So I did use both of them, but I actually have two more since my local Joann's actually finally put out their American craft papers, and this is one of the collections they are carrying, and they do have the wood grain paper, so I picked up a couple more sheets. Here I'm matting the photos. I'm going to do a double mat on two of the photos and then a single mat on one of the photos. Um, this is going a little bit fast, so I did slow it down just slightly. I was trying to cut the video a little bit shorter. It was all the way up to almost 20 minutes still, so I kind of had to speed it up. But I think everybody knows how to do photo mats. And all I did was use my scissors to distress the edges of the paper on the photo mats. And then I used my scissors to distress all of these papers also, which you'll see in the close-ups. Not sure how well it shows in the video. But this is basically the design I'm going for. So I'm going to lay this purple star paper at the top, and I'm just going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to put anything else up there at the top, actually. Just let the purple star paper shine. This layout has a lot of pattern papers on it. It has, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, counting the background. So 9 pattern papers. That's a lot of pattern papers. But I love the way that it turns out. So this paper here has like confetti on it as stars and circles, but they're all in the matching colors. And then the plaid paper I loved for just a border around that paper to separate them. And it also has all of the colors, the pink, the purples, and the teal color. So down here at the bottom, I had to trim this one just a little bit as I cut that paper, the plaid paper, sorry, a little bit too short. It's not actually 1/2 inch, so it didn't cover up the border strip on this paper here. So I just trimmed it down a little bit. Worked perfectly. On this one here on this side, they should have been 6 inches both sides, but sometimes 12 by 12 paper isn't actually 12 by 12. So I think that's what happened because I cut it down to 6 inches, but on the right hand side, it's actually just a little bit short, but it was a little bit long on the other side. So I don't know, maybe I measured it incorrectly. Either way, I fixed it, made it look good, so nobody knows. It's all fixed now. And then this paper here, the same thing. It was cut just a little bit too short. And that one could have been because of the way I cut the pattern paper down to begin with. So I'm just going to fix it once again. And then you can see there's a little bit of strip showing over there on the right hand side. And I will fix that a little bit later in the video. I kind of forget about it for a moment, but I will come back to it. The ruler I'm going to lay at the bottom underneath the plaid paper, but on top of the purple stars at the bottom. And that's where I'm going to actually put the title at. So I'm going to put the little strip of teal also to add a little bit more teal down at the bottom of the layout. And so that's what I'm doing now is just lining up the teal paper on the ruler. It was taking me a minute to get it to lay down correctly. And I'm not sure why, but it was. So I just distressed the edges of it and get it ready to put on the layout. I'm still messing with it, not sure why, once again. It did take me a while to just line it up, but I eventually get it in place. I have a really hard time doing things in straight lines. It always takes me forever to actually line them up. But this one, with all the pattern papers, I really thought the straight lines were a perfect design. So that's what I went with. But it took me a while to get them to line up. And I think part of that's just because I don't know if it's my cutter or if it's me that doesn't cut straight, but it usually is a struggle. So here you can see I'm just kind of tucking it in, making sure you can see the distressed edge because that's what's going to separate all the patterns from each other is to have that distressed edge. So I definitely want the distressed edge showing between the pattern papers. So here I'm going to put the two photos on the left hand side, which is my great niece, her little brother, and her dad. And in the photo of her hugging her little brother, I think is so cute because, she was going to school for the first time and, he was just hugging on her. They're really sweet to each other sometimes. Of course, they're typical siblings. They fight with each other, but she really is sweet to her little brother. And here I'm going to decorate this little, what do they call those little cards? Little index card. I distressed it. I changed the top portion of it. It was the darker, like purple blue color, but it blended in with the background. So I cut that from the pattern paper that had all the strips on it. And it says today, I am the main character of the story, which is, or in this story. And I thought that was kind of cute for the little kindergarten title since, she's new to school and this is her little day to shine. So adding little vellum heart and star over there with that title piece there. And then I will add a couple other things also with it. The books was from the ephemera pack. And then this little cute backpack. I added 2 backpacks over here. And I'll add some little fussy cut books and a camera. And I put Fearless since She did start kindergarten in 2021, which was the following year after the pandemic, and everybody returned back to school. So, you know, she was fearless. She loved school. She was very excited to go to school. She couldn't wait to go to kindergarten. And she had no issues leaving mom and dad behind and going to school, which is great for her because at least, she didn't have any issues. But mom and dad did. They were a little sad, but they're okay. And here on the left hand side, I'm going to add this camera, which was from the embellishment pack, another little fussy cut backpack, some of the books. Some of the books in the background, you really can't tell they're books, but the colors I needed over there just to make it pop a little bit. So that worked out well. And then I put memories right there on the photo. On the photo, it said she was excited, which is something her mom had put on the story when she posted it on Instagram. But instead of using that, I just put memories there instead. Since, like I said, this took me a while to do since, this was 2021. She just started second grade. Um, so here I'm adding the title down at the bottom first. And like I said, I'm going to lay that right on top of the ruler. I thought it looked kind of cute on top of there. And then I'll use these doodlebug letters to say date of. And then I put also the year 2021 over here. And then the kindergartner, sorry, paused my voiceover. I'm going to spell out kindergartner. And just trying to get the right letters. And I love these letters. I'm so glad that Shimelle came back out with them. I have them in quite a few colors, but not this purple color. And I'm going to keep putting that down. And as you can tell, I'm not laying them straight because once again, I would be fighting with them to get them straight. All right, so I'm all done with that. I am going to bring in some sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. These ones are not new sequins. These are from my stash. And I'm also going to add in, first I'm going to add in some of the puffy stars or the thicker stars and butterflies. And the gold is popped up on foam, but it peeled off. It like popped right off of that star. So I did have to re-glue that down with liquid glue. I was very careful with taking them off of the sheet, but once again, American Crafts stickiness is not all that great. And I thought these ones would be a little bit better since, they are thickers and they're foam. Usually the foam is pretty good. They were pretty sticky as far as the backing went, but not the top part, which is the gold paper that they used to cut out the embellishments. So just beware. And I'll come back in and add a couple more of those when I'm done adding the sequins. But first, I'm going to add the sequins. This sequin mix is called Blue Raspberry Bubblegum in case you have it in your stash. It matched perfectly with the purples and the teal color and the pink. So it doesn't have a lot of purple. They're more pink than they are purple. But one of them does come off like a purple color. And then it also has a navy blue, so I used some of those too, and they kind of match perfectly with the background. It's not really navy, it's more of like a purple blue color, but it looks good, so I'm going to go with it. And I'm just going to randomly add around sequins, as random as I add them. I'm going to try to put a little bit of blue, a little bit of pink, in each of the little like clusters that I add in. And I'm only going to do it around the two embellishments on the left and right, and then in the middle on the main character one. I don't add any at the bottom with first day of kindergarten. But I'm going to come back in with some of these gold pieces, I added in the little gold border that I thought was cute down at the bottom. And then I moved the heart up to the top since it was larger. And then I added in another little star down at the bottom. And it just looked better to my eye. There's no, I mean, you can do what you want to do, but it, for me, it looked better balanced if I had the larger heart up top and then added a smaller star at the bottom. Slow it down and show you a little bit of close-ups. I added a little heart by first, and then on the other side I flipped the heart and the star just because there was a larger heart on the top, so I didn't want it to have two hearts on the top right next to each other. And I like the way that it turned out. So here's a few close-ups, and once again, this is for Scraptember, and I have another double page layout done. I will see you guys tomorrow with another layout. Like and subscribe. Bye!